You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Carrie Diaries After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Carrie Diaries After Show.
Yay! Welcome everybody. Bing is for doing, and we are here doing another after show for the Carrie Diaries, Season 1, Episode 3, called Read Before Use. I'm your host, Annika Michelle, and with me is...
I'm Danica Kennedy.
Melissa Unger.
And I'm Anik Dufour.
Welcome everyone.
Thank you.
Well, let's just jump right into it. This is a good episode. Did you guys enjoy it?
Yeah, there's a lot of big things that happen.
A lot of shockers.
There's our song. Well, let's just go into it. We're going to start off with Larissa and Carrie. So, somebody want to...
Yeah, well, Larissa takes Carrie to a very adult place.
Hello, art opening.
Yeah. Opening of the legs.
Exactly.
I should say. So, Larissa's corrupting the young ones, and it's hilarious because she takes her to this place where it's an art opening, and what was the girl's name? Monica Penny, a former porn star, was there as the art show. And her art was, you go up, you drop a penny in a jar, and she shows you her vagina. Surprise! Thoughts?
I was just surprised that she decided to take Mouse with her and how that worked out.
Yeah, and Mouse's boyfriend.
Yeah. That's the college guy.
Yeah.
The college guy is back. Seth is back. And, well, we actually met him for the first time tonight.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
And their first time seeing each other in a long time, they're really awkward, and then they go to that porn star thing. So that doesn't help, or it's kind of an icebreaker in a way.
Do you guys...
He's like, she looks familiar or something, and he's like, oh, oops. In the porn I watch.
Yeah. Do you guys think Larissa realizes how young Carrie and Mouse and all of them are? Or do you think she still thinks they're younger but doesn't know that they're still like in high school young?
I think she has no idea that they're in high school whatsoever. Yeah. I mean, she keeps kind of playing into this whole, oh, you guys are just not from the city or something like that.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when you come to New York from other places of the U.S. that sometimes people think, oh, well, you know, you haven't gotten used to the city yet.
Right. I agree.
I think she thinks that they're young, but not teenage young.
Probably like college.
Yeah, exactly.
She probably
freshman in college or something.
It's going to be a rude awakening when she finds out that, you know, they're only 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, will you come with us to our prom?
Yeah. The funny thing is, during this episode, Penny asks Carrie to come up because, you know, you drop a penny for Monica Penny and she opens her legs for you. And Penny calls Carrie up and is like, oh, you were like me when you were young. Don't, you know, give in to guys. Don't do all this stuff. Is giving her advice. And then finally is like, well, you sit on the throne and show everyone your vagina.
To be empowering.
Yeah. And she didn't do it, obviously. She ran away. But it was funny that she was like, I see myself in you, but now you sit and do what I'm doing now and do this, you know?
Well, her way of being powerful back was by putting her foot back down and saying no.
Yeah.
Which was good. I think it's hilarious that every time they hang out with Larissa, they go to some bar or some porn star thing, and they never get carded somehow.
I was thinking that too. I was like, who lets people into like, I know that there's some kind of like wiggle room as far as fake IDs, but yeah, I've never seen them get carded, and they look like they're all of, 5 feet.
Yeah.
Tiny.
They look so wide-eyed and doe-eyed. I'm like, no bouncer's gonna let them in through the door looking like that.
Every episode, I'm like, how did they get in there in the first place? But TV.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's also circa 84?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
exactly.
city
So maybe
Didn't
it was
care as
like
much.
different.
Yeah, the city was very different back then. Very, very different.
I kind of just want to jump off topic just a little bit. What do you guys think of Seth?
I think he's bad news. I think that he used the label girlfriend already, and then he used the excuse that I've never had a girlfriend to use why he's been treating Mouse the way that he is. I think he's bad news. I think he's playing her to the hill.
What about you guys?
I kind of agree. I think that he's just kind of trying to get in her pants and using it as I'm innocent, I don't know what I'm doing, to excuse himself for not giving her any attention.
He's a lot older than Mouse and all of them, right? Isn't he in college?
Yeah.
He's like in
He's
college and they're in high school. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know if this is going to last because, that awkward, someone's already moved on to college and someone's still in high school. But, yeah, I don't know about him.
I think he's bad news.
Yeah,
It's
I
probably
really
a
do.
typical college guy playing a couple girls.
No offense, guys.
Yeah, but it happens.
Any guy who's in college dating a high school girl, I think is bad news in general.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
so
always an
now it's
awkward thing,
illegal.
like if they're high school sweethearts and one's 1 year older, that's bound to happen, but it's still awkward if you think about it,
Yeah.
Definitely.
For sure.
Okay. Well, how about our next topic?
Well, before we jump into that, we just want to tell you guys, please go on iTunes, download, leave us some comments, leave us lovin', give us 5 stars. That would be great. We read your comments. We want to know what you guys think. Continue the discussion. Tell your friends. Tell everyone. Tell your Facebook friends. Download, listen, subscribe. Do it all, guys.
Especially because this is a new show. We want as many comments and followers as we want. We check them. Keep talking to us. We're always here to listen.
We're enjoying this show, and we hope you guys are too. It's a fun show to watch.
Yeah.
And it's a fun show to host, too.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Fun to talk
It's
about.
a fun show. Our next topic is about Tom and Carrie and Dora and the whole family, and that's going to jump off into other things. But we saw in the beginning Tom was trying to get closer, and he was trying to buy tampons for the girls. Which, I mean, the dad, I feel bad. Everyone thinks he's buying it for his wife, but he was buying it for a teenage daughter, which was sweet. He's trying to
And getting
mend
hit
it.
on doing so too.
Yeah.
What is with all these women hitting on him?
Once they realize that he's a widower, they're like, oh, well, I'll help you buy tampons. It's weird.
That's
Weird
so
hitting on.
creepy. No, don't do that, ladies. That's so creepy.
Yeah, and he goes to a singles bar later on in the episode, and he gets this girl's number who she was totally not into him until he said that his wife died, and then she writes her phone number on a napkin and kisses it with her lipstick and walks away. So
Oh, that's so cheesy. No, don't do that.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
And the guy who he was with, he's the lawyer,
Yeah.
right, for where Carrie is interning at.
Yes.
And he actually wanted to use the pickup line to tell, the women that he was a widower as well.
Yeah.
So that was kind of,
sleazy.
yeah.
I think
a little-
he's divorced or something he was saying earlier, but then he was like, yeah, I'll just tell him, because it's the whole sympathy, oh, you're alone raising 2 girls? Oh, okay, I'll help you.
It's working for him.
It is working for him, and he's not even trying. He just legitimately needs help in situations, and it works out for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't even seem like he cares about moving on at all, though. I think he's way more preoccupied with raising his children.
Which makes him more lovable, of course.
It's true.
Yeah. He's like a man with a small puppy. You just can't say no.
Exactly. And those 2 girls are definitely keeping him busy.
Yeah.
Can't-
Well, the whole drama with Carrie, should we dive into that
Yeah.
right
go
now?
ahead.
All right. Well, Carrie is still crazy about Sebastian, and her dad just won't explain why he doesn't approve of him. So Carrie does some snooping in his private files and finds a document that says that Sebastian was his client because he had sex with his teacher at his old school, his art history teacher, and he got kicked out. Very top secret. She shouldn't have been snooping around, and her dad got really angry at her when he found out about it. So what do you guys think is going to happen with that? I mean, we saw what happened with Sebastian once he found out that she knew, but
Well, I think that, hopefully, Carrie, of course, hasn't learned her lesson. She's going to keep going, and she's going to keep hoping that, he comes back, but that's for the next topic. I just think that, I think her father's right. I think she kind of just needs to, back off of him for a while. What do you guys think? Yeah? No?
Father knows best when it comes
Exactly.
to boys. He was
Yeah.
one of them.
So
Typically.
true.
Yeah.
I think he could have explained better though, because he kept shutting her out, just saying like, I don't want to talk about it, you can't date him. And even though it's a confidential case, he could have been like, look, he has a rough past and I can't tell you about it, but he's trouble, or I don't know, said something instead of just like, we're not talking about it.
Yeah, I agree, because then it would have given her like a little bit of like leeway without, maybe she'd understand more to where he's coming from, and not just be like, oh, I just don't want him to see,
Yeah.
It's true.
I just think it's really hard. I mean, how do you tell your daughter that the girl or the guy that he loves is has done something like that? Like, you just can't. You can't. How do you tell that to a young person? Like, yeah, your significant other is been sleeping with their teacher, and that's how they got kicked out of school.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah.
Do we think it's true though? Is another story.
That's true.
Or do we think is the teacher maybe just like making it up?
I think it's true.
I think it's true.
It's true.
Yeah. I feel like if it wasn't, he might have not reacted in that way. Like, in the end, like, he was, like, shocked that, and he's like, what lawyer? Like, I don't understand. And I feel like if it wasn't true, he wouldn't have gotten kicked out, or she wouldn't have lost her job or whatever, because that's a huge problem. You lose jobs and everything, so. But
I think it's true, but they want to keep it on the down low as much as possible, because Sebastian even... Our next topic is Carrie and Sebastian, but it's kind of just going into a tangent right now.
Yeah.
But I feel like he was surprised that he even had a lawyer. He didn't know. And I think it was all his Sebastian's dad trying to hide it from everyone for the family. And I think it's top secret information that is true that no one wants to get out.
Right, I agree. So hopefully we'll see what happens with that. How
Yeah.
about Dorrit and that cute little hamster?
Oh, and her little hamster she lost.
I'm excited that she gets to keep it.
Yeah.
She wanted it so bad.
She did. I part of me wondered if she was using the mom saying like, oh, mom said I can have it, because the mom's not there to vouch for her, and it's like a sensitive time right now, so the dad's gonna let anything that she says that mom said yes to let her have. So part of me was like, oh, she's a troubled child, maybe she's just lying about that and no one knows. But part of me, I'm like, oh, no, maybe her mom really did say, like, no, you can have it. It's fine.
Yeah, me too.
She told Carrie the same story.
She did. Well, she would
Yeah.
have to tell both of them the same story, but I wonder if she's lying to both or if it really did happen.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how good of a liar she is.
Yeah.
Well, she is a troublemaker, and
is.
she does steal, but it's cute. She stole a $2 hamster because she really wanted one.
They're
and
very expensive.
they're so expensive, $2. So she has a soft side, definitely.
And I like the whole bonding that her and Maggie had.
Yeah,
After
that
like
was
Maggie
really
went
cute.
ahead and like decapitated her panda that Walt had given her. She brought it over to Carrie's and she was all like flipping out, and then her and Dorrit kind of bonded, which I kind of liked. It was cute.
It was really cute.
Because they both lost something.
The
Yeah.
hamster and the 2-year boyfriend.
Yeah.
Same. And I love how she's like, you know how I'm feeling, right? You lost your hamster and my 2-year boyfriend is gone. And she's like, yeah, okay.
Kind of. Not quite.
But it was cute. It was a cute moment.
What do you guys think is, I don't want to say what's going to happen because our predictions are coming up, but what do you guys think the relationship between Maggie and Dorrit, do you think it's going to grow?
Yeah.
Kind of like as a friend, like as another friend?
Well, even when Maggie came over, she was like, is Carrie here? And she was like, no. And she's like, well, you'll just have to do. And they got along as friends really great.
Yeah.
So I think that they are going to have Dorrit become part of the friend group.
I
I
can
hope
see
so.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so, because I think she's, they're just,
She's a little lost, too.
yeah, she's
she
a
could
little
use some
lost.
friends.
She can use like a little help
Yeah.
on the way.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know what you guys thought about Maggie having this label of being a drama queen. Like, every time, like, I feel like as women, we try to say, oh, well, this breakup didn't hurt us, or it's not painful, and I don't want to show my emotion. I just thought that was very interesting that they incorporated it into a teenage character. I just find when I was a teenager, I was crazy, there was like
Everyone
no
is.
filter. So I thought it was interesting that they did it for someone who's supposed to be so young,
Yeah.
especially back in the 80s. But have you ever found like that to be the case where you have like, or your thoughts on it, trying not to be a drama queen after a big breakup?
I think you have the right to be a drama queen
true.
after a 2-year-long relationship ends. And I think it's perfectly fine. You don't even need to be called a drama queen. It's like you went through a breakup. You're allowed to have a big reaction and be upset about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't even hit the bonbons, you know? Like,
Yeah.
none of that.
She wasn't picking out on any food. She was
Yeah.
just
Wasn't
tearing
bawling.
apart the panda.
Yeah.
I think it's okay, especially since it's her first relationship. I
Yeah.
think it's okay that she
Yeah.
went like off the deep end. I mean, I think it's okay for any relationship, but especially for your first.
I don't
Definitely
even
for
think
your
she reacted that badly.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. I was like, wow.
I think she's
like,
handling it really well.
especially for a teenager.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even know the real reason why they broke up still.
Yeah, that's
She just
true.
thinks it's
Kill
because
her.
they broke up.
Yeah.
It's very true.
I can't wait to see what goes on with their character, if their relationship, her and Maggie and Walt's relationship, gets like kind of moves more towards friendship, or if they just kind of like break
Yeah.
it off. What do you guys think?
Well, in the beginning, they're in the hallway at school, and Carrie and Mouse ask her, "Are you going to be mad at us if we're still friends with Walt?" And she said, "No, why? Why would that be?" And it's like, well, you guys broke up. Are we
Right,
supposed to
right.
pick sides? And she
Right.
said no. So it might head into the friend zone, I think. Maybe once he's out of the closet.
Yeah, right?
What about you?
I think they would be friends. Like, I think, yeah, once he's out, I think that would make her understand like more like what happened, and she'd understand she can't compete because it's completely different.
New gay best
But
friend.
yeah, exactly. Maybe she'll have someone to go shopping with and get new shoes and purses, and he can give her love advice maybe.
Yeah. Talk about boys together and
Exactly.
such.
Those are the best.
Who doesn't want a gay best friend?
Exactly.
what I'm thinking.
Exactly.
They're great.
I like their little family outing too at
To
the
the
end.
pet store.
Yeah.
And I like how he made it like, this is life and death, you have to come, and then she was like, well, we're just going to a pet store. And like, he ended up like flirting with the worker again. He was like, oh, I don't know how she walked out without paying for this hamster again. I'll give you $2 extra. And I was like, oh, here he goes. Like,
It was life or death, though,
Yeah.
for the hamster.
It was.
Right.
It needs a place to live.
Yeah.
Marcy.
I was waiting for that lady in the store to be like, here, let me hold the hamster and get a Sharpie out and give you my phone number.
yeah. She's like, oh, don't worry about that. It's fine. It's on the house.
Yeah.
He's hot commodity now on the
Yeah,
market.
He is. It's funny how that happens. But what do you guys think is gonna happen with Carrie and Sebastian? Like, do you guys think he's gonna like forgive her? Or you think they're gonna? Because she obviously like didn't mean it to come out that way, and she was clearly upset, that she like told him, and he was upset that she went snooping and find out, and all this stuff came out that he didn't even know about. Do you think it's gonna like he's gonna come back to her and kind of be like, oh, I still like you, we can work this out, or you think he's done, like that's it?
I think they're doomed to be on a roller coaster for a long time.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think they're going to keep seeing each other on and off, but also in this episode, Larissa was saying, if things don't work out with your boy back home, I have plenty lined up for you. So she might dabble in both, I think.
I could see that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that she should not have. I don't think she should have said anything.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Just kept it to herself.
like I would have kept it to myself and just see how things went, and then maybe eventually down the road. But she said it like right away. So I mean, he got all defensive. So of course, like you guys said earlier, then it's most likely the fact that it is true what happened
Yeah.
between him and the teacher. I just want to see. I'd like to see where the relationship goes, because like Melissa said, it's gonna be like up and down, and it's gonna be intense.
Mm-hmm. I think she especially shouldn't have brought it up since she was okay with it. If she was against the whole thing happening and really upset by it, then she could have brought it up as an issue. But since she's like, oh, I know this happened and it doesn't matter to me, it's like, then you should just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was such a weird breakup to begin with. It like came out of like left field. It's like they're just sitting there and then it's like, I'm done with you. Like
Yeah.
I just was like, and she wasn't like, if I was a teenage girl back then, I would have been like, oh my god, and like try to beat him with my binder trapper keeper or something. like like what do you mean? Like there was none of that. So I thought it was refreshing to see that she will grow into the Carrie that we all know and love, where she's like, I understand that you're not a cool guy to be around. So.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, I don't know if this is kind of cheating, but he is on all the season's episodes I saw on IMDb.
So that makes sense.
Whether he's
They're
with
gonna be there.
Carrie or not in the episode, like whether he's just there. I kind of wonder if, what was that other girl's name that wanted him?
Donna
LaDonna.
LaDonna.
Yes.
Our
I
favorite.
kind of think
Yeah.
that she's going to come back and she's now, they're done. So she's now going to go full force
Oh, yeah.
onto him. And then I think he might just, do it. Like not just, wait, I should rephrase that. I think I think he might like go with her just to maybe see Carrie's reaction and get her jealous.
Yeah.
I could see that happening for sure. And they're both partiers. They're more edgy and stuff. So I feel like they might have a fling and then Carrie will come crawling back to him or something. Something
Yeah.
juicy is going to happen.
I'm just scared to think that Sebastian would get with Maggie because they're kind of both like slightly wild, and I feel like that could happen.
I
And then
could see
you
that.
kind of see how like Carrie develops when she's been stabbed in the back. Something like that could happen.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Okay. I actually have some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, I have a couple things to go over. There's a big controversy going on now about the internet about Sex and the City fans and saying that the series, the original series on HBO, her dad is the one who abandoned them. And in this one, it went ahead, it's the mom that went ahead and passed away. I went ahead and read about Anna B. Harris, who is like the showrunner for for Carrie Diaries as well as Sex and the City. And she said that she wanted to make the show as closest to the books as possible. So if you guys ever read the books, in the books, it's actually the mother that does pass away and not the father that leaves. So that's a little tidbit there. She wanted to stay with the books and just go ahead and work. Also, Austin Butler had an interview, and they talked about how he gets away with not wearing 80s clothing. If you ever notice, he doesn't really have that much, like tie-dye and jean jackets and stuff like that. But he also said that he went ahead and researched and went back and looked at like James Dean and Marlon Brando back in the 80s, and he kind of put that towards the wardrobe department, and the wardrobe department agreed, and so he kind of lucked out on that. And that's why if you see him, he kind of looks a little bit stylish and more of our century.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing.
Yes,
That is a good
I think
thing.
it's a good thing. Also, Matt Letcher, who is the father, he plays Tom. He was interviewed actually by one of his old college friends and saying that he learns a lot from the kids now, the teens, about, today, and then he teaches them a lot as well.
That's awesome.
And that's it. That's all I have. News and gossip.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I mean, we kind of talked about what we thought about Carrie and Sebastian, but we can go on to other predictions if you guys want to start with it, about where you think it's going to go, about everything.
We kind of touched on some earlier. We were talking about how Dora can become part of the friend group.
Yes.
Do you guys have other one?
I think Seth and Mouse are bad news. He's gonna break her heart. It's just a matter of time.
Aww.
I think he has an agenda.
Yeah.
He's after
Yeah.
something else.
Exactly. Exactly. And then I think that, of course, Sebastian and Carrie are just going to keep on maybe getting a little bit further and further apart. Then maybe, like season finale or next season, they'll just like slam them back together again.
That'll be a good season finale.
But go ahead.
Oops, sorry. No. Sorry.
I'd like to actually see her dabble in Manhattan Men
Yes.
Me too.
that Larissa
Oh my
sets her
gosh.
up with. Can you imagine the trouble that she'd get into?
Insane.
Yeah.
I was about to say that too. I was like, the men that she gets set up with by Larissa is going to be crazy. And if she keeps playing like no one knows her age, it's going to be even more insane because it's going to be older troublemaker men.
Yeah.
Because Larissa goes after the bad boys, the ones you don't want, the ones you can't have. So.
I don't think Larissa's going to find out Carrie's age anytime soon. I think they're
No.
going to keep hanging out until she dates someone or something happens, and then it's going to be like, oh, surprise, I'm 16 years old.
Yeah.
My biggest prediction, I think, for next episode that Morrissey will actually be a female hamster and have baby hamsters. 'Cause that always happens. That always happens. You go and get a hamster, and then you find out, oh no, it's not a man, it's a woman, and she's pregnant. Congratulations, you have more than one hamster. So that's my biggest prediction.
That'd be funny.
That'd be funny.
Have to keep our eyes open for that one.
Yeah.
More pop out in the house.
I'd like to see one last thing. I'd like to see how Walt and Maggie again, their relationship and friendship, gets and how he develops himself.
That would be good.
And how he finds himself.
Well, do you guys want to tell them where they can find you guys?
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Danica Kennedy and at danicakennedy.com.
Miss Melissa Unger on Twitter.
At Anik, at just Anik on Twitter.
Facebook.com/AnnikaMichelle1, and you can find me there.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thank you.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.